Now I have a pretty good idea what you're gonna think when you hear me say that I don't necessarily believe in paying for premium stuff, you know, for big labels and big brands and all of that, because in most cases when it comes to cars, you're actually paying more for less content, and more likely than not, you're actually gonna get less reliability all built into one single car. Now, I will admit that yes, obviously, when you do look into premium brands like Audi and BMW and these guys, Mercedes-Benz, you will get some extraordinary automobiles. I mean, some that come to mind, if mostly because they are absolutely unique and special, are, say, the Audi RS6 or anything Alpina from BMW, because of what they deliver, and well, obviously an E63 AMG E63. But there is another thing that when it comes to premium brands that, well, in this case, I'm going to make an argument for them, and it's when you get into, and listen to me very carefully, when you get into their entry level cars, not SUVs, cars. Because, you see, to me, something like this, a 2023 Mercedes-Benz C-Class, is more than just a premium automobile. But that's my perception of the vehicle. Because of its history. And that's probably where everything changes. Like, talk to me about an A4 or a 3 Series BMW, despite these cars having evolved so much over the decades. They have personality, character, they are desirable, pretty, and their lineage and heritage usually shines through. Not in all versions, mind you, but say this compared to a GLC, okay? A GLC feels disposable, feels like yesterday's news, is excessively popular, but it has no essence to it. Same with the Q5, same with the X3, although the X3 out of the three is probably my favorite for a number of reasons. But again, 3 Series, A4, and C-Class. There's what am I trying to say? I love this car. I mean, if you were to give me, you know, 2 sets of keys, or transponders, or whatever the hell they're called, you know, to this 2023 C300 4MATIC, or to the EQS 580 that I drove late last year, I wouldn't even hesitate and take the car that is priced at, well, starts out at about a third of what the EQS starts out. Not this one. No, not this one. Because not only are they absolutely gorgeous, not only do they have still the latest technologies, but they drive. They're rewarding to drive. Like, sure, I like an S-Class or an A8 or stuff like that, but they're not actually fun to drive. I love big cars. Rambling, you know what happens. You know, like my dream car right now is a mid to late 1980s Oldsmobile custom cruiser station wagon. So I love them big. But back to the present. This, I don't know, between this and an A4 and a 3 Series right now, and this is what always happens when you review a car because you're in it and you're smelling it and you're feeling it, this might be my favorite, however common the C-Class is. My brother is a real estate agent, and every other agent he knows drives around in a C-Class. Okay, this is the 6th generation of the C-Class, which started out as the glorious W201 190E, which is what I sense emanating from this car. No, not really, but I feel it. It's just me. And so this is all new. 2022 was the first model year, 23 is follow-up. No changes really, except for maybe a few wheels and 1 or 2 other extra standard features, and a price increase, of course. As per the usual, in the following video, we'll do the tour of the C300 in this case, and I will omit all things AMG because I want to drive the next AMG, so I don't want to mix the things up. I'm going to focus solely on this. So the walk around and then the drive, because this thing sounds like a little C300, but there's a lot going on, or feels like there's a lot going on. Anyhow, here we go. So let's get right down into design. I'm still, after a number of days driving around in this car, trying to decide if this is the prettiest of the C-classes, following the 190E, of course. The previous generation W205, which I think launched in 14, was pretty, but you know, the 204, which was introduced I think in 2008, was really, really pretty. The ones before that, well, now they look old because, well, they are old, but I think maybe the simplest way to put it is that I don't think there has ever been an ugly C-Class. And that is especially true when it comes to wagons, which sadly is no longer offered. Yes, the previous generation, 205, there was C300 and a C43 wagon, and it was one of my favorite new cars that I drove. I think it was back in 2019. But the difference is now, I mean, versus the two generations, the new car is about 65 millimeters longer overall, so 6.5 centimeters. It's only about a centimeter wider. And the important thing, although you can't really tell, is that it's about 9 millimeters lower than it was. But the wheelbase is stretched. It's beautiful. The front overhang is so short. I mean, and this color, Spectral blue, is, I think it does justice to this car. No matter what package or options you do fit to this car, it works. I love how the bumper is kind of pushed inward at the bottom. It's aggressive. It's kind of like GT and CLS built into the styling. I mean, but from a distance between this and an E and an S, I mean, they're all pretty much look the same. Basically, they're all really, really beautiful. Okay, so in the US, I don't have 23 pricing, but it started at $43,550. Main difference being that 4MATIC all-wheel drive is optional, whereas it is standard in Canada, which explains why $58,600 is now the base price for the 2023 C300 4MATIC. Well, look, the level of equipment: heated steering wheel, heated front seats, MBUX, which is always great, 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster, a lovely 11.9-inch touchscreen display, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and so on and so forth. Right, it's got, at this point, it's got the basics, and this is a near $60,000 base car. So my car has, I still can't really figure everything out because it's kind of got like a mix of options and packages. But it does have the sport package and a mix of that and a night package. So it's got the AMG body kit, which is, I think, an absolute must. I mean, you can see the skirts, the rear bumper is more aggressive. It's probably what gives this car the most character, and it's why I think, you know, if you take the sport package and the premium package for $64,000, you're looking at the right C-Class, because yeah, I'm not done. So yeah, it's got the AMG body kit, the sports seats, these wheels, which are the two-tone kind of aero blade ones, which are, they don't look great in pictures, but in real life, they are awesome. I mean, I'm pulling out all the stops here. This wheel setup is awesome. It's also got the premium package with keyless go navigation, premium plus package with the heads-up display. It's got the intelligent driver package. Bottom line, this is a $73,000 C300 4MATIC. So yeah, a lot of that you don't need. That's why I'm saying, you know, take the Spectral blue, which is like a $890 or $900 or $950 option with the sport premium package, and you're all set. If we continue the tour, I mean, one more lap because it's so pretty, so pretty. So like the AMG night package, this is blacked out, but you don't get these wheels. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I didn't read the spec sheet right, but you do get these wheels if you get the night package with black trim. But as spec'd, as is, it's gorgeous. Okay, so just a quick trunk tour. 455 liters, it's fine, you know, decent depth for a compact premium sedan. And where, you know, compact is mostly noticeable here, but look, the kids have a decent amount of space back here if you're going to use it as a family sedan. Nothing really crazy to report here. You're not going to fit anybody between the two seats. Case closed, you can see the sport seat layout. It's actually really, really cool. On the interior, as far as you know, the materials and specs are concerned, it's more or less the basic materials and trims. So, you know, it's kind of all black. I mean, the materials actually feel better than they are to the well, yeah, to the look. Plastics down here are actually kind of hard, but well, you know, $73,000 makes it difficult to accept, especially down here. But you know, if you figure 60 grand, it ain't all that crazy. Yeah, okay, I'll show you that. So there's a shot of the 12.3 inch display, and that's the 11.9 inch display, which is really nice. So I'll just get in, start it up. Where to begin? 12.3 inch display, I guess. Yes, that's okay, that's fine. Oh, the steering wheel, let's just start with that. Oh, the grip. The AMG steering wheel is, it might be one of the prettiest steering wheels in the business. I love the gapped spoke. Anyway, beautiful. Okay, so there's your 11.9 inch screen display. I mean, MBUX is brilliant. It's all there. The only mild issues maybe, actually there's just one issue, and I'll just get right to it, is if you want the heated steering wheel, you have to activate the heated seats. So there's no individual heated steering wheel button, and you get additional heated steering, sorry. I got this. Okay. If you activate the seat. And that's kind of a cheap way to get it done. It should have an extra button or whatnot. Speaking of buttons, the haptic stuff, wearing gloves, I'm not at the moment, but they are ultra sensitive. See? If you happen to tap that, it'll go to mute as opposed to go up, you know. There's a lot going on, and down here is the same. There are no actual physical buttons, as you can see. It's just this one long touchpad, which looks great, admittedly, and you might be able to, don't think you can tell, but the screen is actually on a slight angle and slightly twisted towards the driver. It's a beautiful piece. But yeah, it's the same thing here with the, I don't know, the increments are kind of, oh, it's a detail. Never mind, I didn't say anything. You can see the heads-up display, I think. Yeah, I think there's a 0 right there. The screen actually does change slightly with the drive modes, custom, sport. So that screen there, here, and if you want to change the display itself, you can select among different ways to have it all show up. I mean, I think the classic is the nicest one as far as I'm concerned. Visibility is excellent because everything is below the base of the windshield, if you can see that. See how often you actually see vents which actually light up. I mean, as far as the ambiance, Benz has it nailed. Yeah, so visibility is great. I mean, even around here, you can kind of squeeze some sight between the A-pillar and the mirror. But the overall sense is that you really are driving, you're in the driver's seat, and I love that. And it's part of the driving experience, which we will elaborate on now. I just realized something. I think I said C for custom as far as drive modes are concerned, and well, obviously that's not true. There's an individual drive mode, but C is for comfort. And frankly, it's been my go-to default drive mode all week. Simply and mostly because there is no individual setting for the dampers. They're not adjustable. So everything is on chill mode, and I'm enjoying it just like that. If ever I feel like getting the most out of the 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, you know, I just slap it once to the right or a second time to get into Sport Plus, Sport or Sport Plus. And essentially, it's not really necessary. If mostly because, I mean, I haven't had the pleasure of driving a new AMG C-Class, and I am very much looking forward to it, because what Benz has done with this turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder engine for the base C300, right? Let's understand that, is create something that feels so much more substantial and powerful than the numbers suggest, and yet refined. It's a full package 4-cylinder business. So 2-liter mild hybrid with a starter generator, itself producing, while taking care of start, stop, and accessories and stuff like that, produces 20 horsepower and 147 pound-feet of torque. So total system output is 255 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. It's easy power. Like, this engine is not strained, it's relaxed, and actually sounds pretty decent under heavy load. Again, right, this is a basic C300 4MATIC. And when you wail on it, this thing will reach 100 kilometers per hour from a standstill in only 6 seconds. Now, I know we were used to reading specs about the GT1 or the I don't know, the Corvette Blu-ray, E-Ray, sorry, and sub 3 second cars, but 6 seconds is still really fast for just a regular premium basic semi-entry level sedan. But what's more is that, and I don't know if you spotted the fuel consumption numbers, well, dirty windshield, no, I haven't traveled that much of a distance, but it's a combination of what I've done over the last week and what previous auto journalists have done, which typically means lots of fuel being consumed. But I'm averaging 8.7 liters per 100 kilometers. Now, the Benz numbers will have you thinking that you can average about 8.5, and we are in winter, so the numbers are absolutely impressive, and I am totally convinced that these are legit numbers. And the 9G-tronic transmission is fantastic as well. It glides or smashes through the gears depending on how much throttle you give it. It works so well with this 4-cylinder engine. It's like a grown-up transmission and a grown-up, well, I don't know, junior but grown up, because this is just a C-Class. Now, I know it's a step up from the A-Class, but point is, it's just a C-Class. The 4MATIC system has been, well, fun. I mean, now most of the snow is gone, but earlier in the week there was plenty on the ground, and there's plenty of fun, plenty of traction available from the system. It's just great. And the ride quality, despite not having any adjustable dampers, and 4-link independent, 5-link independent front rear, the ride quality is excellent. The chassis feels so solid. Everything is so sorted. You know what it is? It's kind of like the best of all worlds, where you get the benefits of a small-ish, agile, light-ish sedan, but with, big sedan comfort, refinement. You get that sense that this is a very premium automobile, despite being only a C300. Steering is great. I mean, the only bugger as far as the driving experience is concerned is brake pedal travel. It is unnecessarily and unpleasantly long. Sorry. It gives me the impression that there's an air bubble in the system or something like that, because when I roll back onto it after releasing it, pedal travel is cut in half and responsiveness is doubled. So I think maybe it's just a thing related to this car. I'm not entirely sure. But beyond that, it's I get it why this car is so popular. And I'm repeating myself a little bit, but I mean, if you ask me right now, between an A4, a 3 Series, or a C-Class, I'll take a C-Class. It feels right. Everything about it feels right. It looks good. I think A4 is pretty, and a lot of pretty. And the 3 Series is lovely, pretty. But I don't know. I know. I said I don't buy into, luxury premium cars, but here I am. But this is only a C300, right? Okay, I'm done.